Well, a great big hi there and hello. My name is James. This is my YouTube series, My Gaming Weekly. We're going to start this week by looking at the games that I most recently picked up. So these I got from the Music Magpie page on eBay. But I got two games from them this week on eBay. The first one is just because I was a big fan of the series of films as a kid, and I thought, why the hell not? It was only a couple of quid. Is Herbie Rescue Rally for the Nintendo DS. It's probably going to be a big pile of pants, but it's Herbie, and who doesn't love a self-driving Volkswagen Beetle? Luckily, the style of it looks like it's the original Herbie, not the one that was like the modern version that had Lindsay Lohan in it for Fully Loaded. I think it was, or Fully Reloaded. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. As a kid, I absolutely adored Herbie Goes Bananas as a film. My nan had it on video that she taped off the telly. And so every week when we'd go there, I'd be like, I want to watch Herbie. And she's like, haven't you seen it enough? I was like, no, because I don't know all the lines yet. And another pickup I got this week, it's kind of topical, even though it's an old game. Friends, the TV series, has recently celebrated its 30th anniversary. So, what better way to acknowledge this by with Friends, the one with all the trivia? So, the camera just fell over while I was filming that, so I'll just redo it just in case. So, this was Friends, the one with all the trivia for PlayStation 2, new for 2005. This was off eBay as well for $1.99. Me and my best mate Emma were big fans of the show. In our late teens, early 20s. So I know more than she does about the show. So, obviously I was always going to win, but now I have a copy of it myself. So now let's talk about the games that I've been playing this week. And obviously it is the one and only Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom on the Nintendo Switch. This was released last Thursday on the 27th of September. I'm filming this now on Wednesday, the 2nd of October. And I've played it pretty much every day for about an hour or so a day. So I'm doing okay. I probably say I'm about halfway through. I've done 4 dungeons so far. So I've just gone on to the other part of the map to do the dungeons 5, 6, and 7, and then obviously a final 8th dungeon. So yeah, probably about halfway through. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's a nice, laid back Zelda game compared to the ones like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina, those kind of games that are like high energy, action. This is more of a laid back approach. It's done in the same style as Link's Awakening that was re-released and remastered a few years ago. So the art style is the same because it's done by the same team, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'm loving it. It's a nice chill game. It makes a change to be playing as Zelda and not have any weapons per se. So having to use the items around you makes it a much more interesting experience. But of course, the main topic of conversation for this week's episode is my top 5 favorite games that were classed as only on Xbox. So this top 5 is based purely on my enjoyment of the games, how much I played them when I was younger. It's not based on reviews or sales or anything like that. It's just purely my own choices. So if you don't like it, let me know in the comments below on why you think my opinions suck. But we're going to start with number 5, which is Fusion Frenzy. This was a party-style game by Blitz Games exclusively for the Xbox console. This was the turn of the century, so a lot of games like Mario Party were coming out. And so obviously Xbox did their own Mario Party style game, and they came up with Fusion Frenzy. It's fun. Some of the games are different to Mario Party. It reminds me a lot a cross between the Crystal Maze and Gladiators. If you know those shows, you'll know what I mean if you've played the game. Just the style and the setup of it is a mix of the two. So really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun playing that with Emma. Of course, I always won, and I always played as Zach because I thought he was cool because he had blue hair. But that is by the by. So that is Fusion Frenzy on Xbox. There was a sequel to it, Fusion Frenzy 2, on the Xbox 360, but that franchise has kind of died since then. You can play it on Game Pass as well, so if you wanted to have a go on it, it is on there. Do give it a go, it is fun. Swinging into the ring at number 4, we are going with WWE Raw 2. Again, only on Xbox. I don't think this one came out on PC. I could be wrong. But at the time, there was the 3 consoles. There was Xbox, there was PlayStation 2, there was GameCube. PlayStation had the SmackDown games, GameCube had the WrestleMania games, and Xbox had the Raw games. And this was Raw 2. This was done by Anchor, who were known at the time for making the UFC games on Dreamcast. So THQ appointed them to make the game. It's much better than the first game and the Raw series. The Raw series pretty much set the groundwork for the engine and the build of the game. This expanded on it a lot, especially in terms of the storyline mode. While there's no text or voiceovers in the game, the speech, you can make some of the choices. You can interfere in matches. You can interfere in the middle of an entrance that helped carve out some of the stories that your character would take. And the ultimate end goal was, of course, to become World Heavyweight Champion or the WWF/WWE Champion. I think it was WWE by that point. What year was this? 2003? Yeah, so they were WWE by that point. So they had the undisputed belt in it. It had over 60 WWE superstars, including Triple H, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, you name it, they're in there. I think Hulk Hogan's in that one as well. I can't remember. But one of the great things about this is the fact that the customization in the game was just a lot better than the AEW game that's out at the moment. AEW game, as much as I'm a fan of them, the game itself wasn't great. But the customization in this was on par, probably with No Mercy. And the extra added bonus is, of course, custom soundtracks. With the original Xbox, you could put a CD into the disk drive, burn the music to the hard drive in there, and then use the songs in the game. So you could use any song you wanted for your created wrestlers. So that was always fun. The number 3 spot on the only for Xbox list is Fable. I remember reading about this in the official Xbox magazine before the console came out. I was like super hyped for it at the time, and it was known back then as Project Ego. The premise of the game being that every decision that you make in the game affects other parts of the game, affects how people react to you, whether or not you're a goodie or a baddie, and it also changes your appearance as well. So you'll have a more innocent look, or you'll have a more devilish, evil look as well. As you can see from the cover, that's kind of highlighted in there. It's one of those games that was meant to be a launch title but was delayed. It overpromised on what it could actually deliver, but it did set the groundwork for a lot of future games. I think like Skyrim and Morrowind, Oblivion, all those kind of games adopted the every decision has a consequence kind of thing. I enjoyed Fable 2 and Fable 3 a lot more than I did the first one, and I'm very much looking forward to the new one that comes out, so I'm going to have to upgrade my Xbox to a Series X. But there we go, Fable for the original Xbox. Going for number 2, I couldn't decide between the two of them, so I went for both of them, and it is essentially the Project Gotham racing games. Project Gotham Racing 1 and PGR 2. Project Gotham Racing was immensely fun. I think at the time it was the only game that was licensed to have real cars in it that could be damaged and scratched and smashed and things like that. So that added to the excitement of the game. It was fun racing around over 200 circuits. Again, it was another game where I think you could change the soundtrack to it. I can't quite remember that one. But with Project Gotham Racing 2, you definitely could. So many of the races that me and Emma would play against each other, there'd be a lot of Limp Bizkit in there, Good Charlotte, Sum 41. A lot of those, drive fast and rock hard kind of songs. I can't believe I just said that, bloody hell. But yeah, 2 fun racing games. One was a launch game, one was a follow up. There were 2 more games in the Project Gotham series as well. but they were for the 360, and we haven't had one since. Apparently, only Forza is important these days. So come on, Microsoft, pull your finger out and bring us back some PGR racing. But of course, what else was going to be number one in and only on Xbox Top 5? It's the original, it's the best, it's the Master, it's the Master Chief. Halo Combat Evolved by Bungie. So this was basically the killer app for the original Xbox. It's first time you put that disc in and you hear the music from the monks and you just hear that awesome soundtrack. You're hooked on the game. It was an interesting concept, with the Halo ring planet, with the aliens and the Covenant and the Flood. And you playing as the Master Chief, trying to save humanity, as everyone always is. It also introduced system link gaming as well for multiplayer, so like LAN parties, so each one would have their own console, but it'd all connect to the same game for a multiplayer, because online Xbox Live hadn't been launched at this point, but was being established. Halo 2 you could play online, but Halo 1 you couldn't. It was all offline only. The story of it is incredible. I played it again recently on the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One on Game Pass. I'm sorry, I'm really choking on this microphone. But, you can't have OG Xbox Top 5 without the Master Chief being at number 1. So there we are, guys. That is my top 5 exclusive most played Xbox games. I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know in the comments if you agree with my choices. I don't think anybody is, but again, like I say, they're the games that I played a lot when I first got the console. As a massive wrestling fan, there was always going to be a wrestling game in there. And, I enjoyed multiplayer, so me and my best mate Emma, we would play Project Gotham. These are to say these are my top 5 favorite games on the Xbox. They're just 5 of my most played exclusives. So things like The Simpsons Hit and Run, Simpsons Road Rage, FIFA, etc. They were available on other consoles, so I haven't included them in this list. I may include them in another list down the line, but we'll see about that when it comes to it. But that is going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If indeed you still are, please do the usual and give the video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you know when next week's episode drops. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is James, and I will see you next time. F9 Gaming UK, where the fun never fades. From old school consoles to the games of today. Join us on this ride to pixels and screen. Our passion for gaming, always supreme.